this analysis of this game, we are always going to be asking ourselves one most important question. What is wrong with us going backwards? Hello, guys. Welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect. I'm your host, Sam, and we are back again with another one. We're going to be analyzing everything that happened in today's game. Of course, Liverpool just lost to Crystal Palace by 3-2 in penalties, 2-2 in terms of the game wise. There was some good and there was some bad, and of course, we're going to be covering all of those. I want to hear your thoughts. This is actually what we learned from the game. It's not really about the analysis or my instant reaction, because that should have come up a long time ago when I was really into the mode, but I missed that part. So before we go anywhere, click the like button, subscribe to connect the best so you support us here. So, of course, congratulations to Crystal Palace. I think it was a well-deserved victory for them because, of course, the way they handled, the way they actually approached this game, and the way they played. They saw this Liverpool was electric, and they had to hang on. And that was wise, because in hanging on, it gives them an opportunity and some time to strike, and they struck when it mattered. And they saw the weakness in Liverpool, took advantage, which we are going to talk about it, because there are some crazy mistakes that Liverpool are making, or disadvantages that we find ourselves in, and now we are asking questions. Of course, we'll talk about what Virgil van Dijk said in the end in terms of what Liverpool needs to do, the fact that we've lost Darwin Núñez and we lost Diaz. We're going to talk about that. Let's talk about the game, player by player. So, in general, I'm going to do a 2 or 3 minutes analysis of this. So, in general, this was a good game in Liverpool. In the first 60 minutes, or should I say maybe 55 minutes of the game, we had a plan. We approached the game so well. We caused the chaos when it mattered. We had opportunities. When we are going forward, we were creating so many opportunities which we could take advantage of, but it reached a point where that disappeared. And when that happened, we started to see some mistakes, which we can all talk about it. It was not good the way we were now approaching the second part of this game, in a game which we were really in control. We lost how we were supposed to have control over the game, what we were supposed to do, and it was really, really terrible. I need to understand what we need to do in defense, but of course, there were a lot of changes. Before I even go that far, Ryan Gravenberch was not in. Marca is not yet back, who I would expect to be in that double pivot, because the midfield, Curtis Jones was good. He made 53 passes in the game. That is wow. That is really wow. Stevie G was telling the truth when he said that if this kid, you really manage him well, he will run through a brick for you. He was really good. But the problem that I saw with Curtis Jones, and we can all agree, most of his passes were going backwards rather than forward. I'm not going to talk about players right now. How did I get lost in that anyway? So it was a good game. So the midfield, I felt like it was our weakest position as well as our strength, because going forward, it was our strength. Going backwards, it was so open, easily to be cut out, which was causing problems to the defense. Defensively, was also one of our weakest positions, because some of those trusted lieutenants that we've come to love, those break walls, it was easy for the Crystal Palace to cause chaos, especially when they gained the confidence. There were moments when they were just squeezing the life out of Liverpool, and it felt like Liverpool had nothing to respond. And I think that's what Arne Slot needs to sit down and really analyze, because it has to change. The penalty, that can happen, but usually you don't really expect that types of mistakes from the player who actually committed that foul, because we've seen him so many times being the leader, being the guy who runs everything and controls everything. So in situations like this, finding ourselves in this problem, you ask questions. What happened? How did this even happen? On the other hand, after talking about that, going forward, we caused chaos, scored 2 amazing goals, amazing moment where it felt like Diogo Jota came and was like, I'm scoring this one in the 20 minutes. It was amazing. It will live into our memory, because we are still really in pain and we're trying to recover. And he said that, no, I want to show you that I'm still with you guys. I'm going to go score that goal. So that was amazing. But going again backwards after conceding a penalty, allowing Crystal Palace to cause problems, trying to catch the team on for example, on offsides, while your team is not really yet maybe in unison, or maybe should I say informality, in terms of understanding each other, because 90% of the time when the team was trying to take on to cross maybe an offside, you would see either Fimpong was below or maybe Kirkers was below. But we can't really blame them, because these are new kids. They're still getting used to this whole entire thing. They're still trying to understand how to work and how to do the job well. So I can't really blame them. You have to understand that this is the situation that is happening. But all of those things can be worked onto, they can be recovered, and we can get better on that. So we're going to have to work on that and see what happens. Of course, the players played so well. We are going to talk about the players really from strike force going back to the low, because we lost the game. Don't forget that. Even though some of the players were really good going forward, we still lost the game. So that has to be analyzed with due diligence over how we lost the game and everything that happened. In terms of everything that you see, domination of the game. If you look at that properly, Liverpool, we were in the game, but at some point, especially in the second half, if you're looking at this graph, you can see where the problem is. We lost concentration. We lost dominate, that position dominant we had. They started running the second half. Crystal Palace played so well in the second half, and there is a moment we gave them also control in the first half, which they also caused chaos. And you wonder exactly what's happening. How are we losing ourselves in the moments when we expect to be running away with the situation? And it happens countless times that you start asking so many questions rather than answers. On the other hand, looking at our players, Salah was literally out of the game. Virgil van Dijk was out of the game. It's really funny. The most expensive players in terms of contract wise are the ones who brings up the craziness, and the players who were actually performing well are the ones who did this. By the way, I don't really know why Who Scores does this in terms of Florian Wirtz's assessment. I think they don't really understand the type of player he is, because if you go out, see other people who are rating this, they are rating him way higher than this. I'll show you if I can get that information. But anyway, let's get into it. As you can see, Hugo Ekitike with the first goal. He dominated every single position. As you can see, the shots that he had, the shot that he had, and the goal that he scored from the position which he was really in the game. I felt like he played so well for the 71 minutes, but I would say maybe 60 of those 71, 10 minutes was really out of the game. One goal, shot on target, two offsides of shots off target, and that can be worked on. Two big chances missed. He had chances which, if he had turned them, this would have been a different game. 25 touches in the game. One thing about his touches, they're always a problem. The defense, you have a struggle to deal with him. Ground Jewels won. He won 1 out of 3, which needs to improve. Of course, the physicality of the Premier League is going to be a problem for these boys. They need to get into the mix and understand how the game is played. Lost the position 5 times. Fouled. Fouls was 1. Clearance 1. I think we can't really hate on the way he played, because I think he was really good. Cody Gakpo, on the other hand, played so well. Scored a penalty, of course. Yes, that's the penalty that they're showing here. But he had the 2 shots in which they did not really do so much. They were all blocked. If you notice, they were blocked, but they were good shots. He played 90 minutes, 43 touches in the whole 90 minutes. So that's not really good. 80% pass accuracy, long accurate passes. He had one which was good, the other one was wrong. Successful dribbles. He had one shot. Of course, he scored a penalty. Like I said, ground use areas, 1 out of 5. That's very, very wrong. That needs to improve, really. Florian Wirtz, on the other hand, which I don't get that analysis from Who Scored. How do you give a player that? He had an opportunity which he skied it, we did so that. But look at how his hit map is like. The guy is literally everywhere, Florian Wirtz. He's moving from the left, he's moving from the right, he is on that center, he's literally running wherever his assistant is needed, he's there to help. And that's really gonna be important to see what he does. He played 84 minutes, so almost the whole game, 74 touches. That's really high for a striker, by the way. Somebody who's attacking, 74 touches, 88%, 4 key passes. If they were really good scorer, he had an assist, by the way. You have to remember. Crosses, he had 3. One was a very long ball with 2 out of 1. Then big chances created, one which was a goal. Then, of course, he created another one. Uh, Ekitike did not really take advantage of the opportunity. Grandjew was 3 out of 7. I think he'll get to the physicality. He lost the ball 14 times because he had the ball most of the times. Maybe sometimes it was the blocks of his passes and what. Then comes the Egyptian king. I've never seen a low analysis of a Salah game really. He had a shot which was on the goalkeeper, then the penalty is guided. Then 90 minutes, nothing, 26 touches, no any accurate crosses, shots on target once, successful dribble none, chance missed, penalty missed, or fouls, lost position 12 times, ground jewels. He was literally not in the game. This is dark. This is dark for Mo Salah. This is really dark. Dominic Soboslai playing next to, of course, Curtis Jones. They were okay. I can't really complain that much. He was really okay. He played so well. We had an assist for the second goal, I think. But oh yeah, he's the one of passed the Fimpong to the goal he scored. Oh my god, I'd forgotten that. He had one assist. Then, of course, he was really 75 touches, controlling the game, moving so well. Key passes 3, 6 long ball, which were called accurate over the seventh. He had 2 shots on target and 1 penalty shot, which was a goal. Ground jewels, 3 out of 5, 1 out of 3 error jewels. So it was not really a terrible game, but yet I felt like he lost the ball so much times. There were moments I was really expecting so much from him, and he lost position 10 times, as you can see. But yeah, it's a work in progress. It feels like the combination is what's not working in our midfield. The combination more than what is really happening in the game. Then on the other side, we have Curtis Jones, who played well, 71 minutes, 85 touches of the goal. He had 100% in terms of pass accuracy, 53 out of 53. I've never seen this from anyone. It was everywhere. As you can see, his mid maps backwards, going forward, the strike force helping, but he was playing as that DM. He had he won 2 of the 5 ground jewels. He had arrow jewels was 1-1 in the lost position 2 times. He was fouled once. He fouled once and he was fouled 2 times. Clearances, interception, he did 1. Not really a terrible game for him, really, when you're being honest, because I think he was getting back into the game, which is really important. Then, of course, Milos Kerkez, he had the shot which was blocked. He covered that left position from the back going forward. He was trying to take advantage to help Cody Gakpo in the game. At some point, there were so many clearance which he tried, which was stopped. Then, as you can see, the way uh, blocks, shots, interception, tackles, dribble passes, and touches, which were about 83 because at the back line they were holding the ball most of the times in terms of how they were trying to build up and everything that was happening in the game. 82 passes. So he had 54 accurate passes over 59. That is really amazing, by the way. He can improve to that, I'm sure. He had ground jewels 3 out of 5, so that's not terrible. It's above a half. Then we also have long, accurate balls, 1 out of this, so he can work on that. So there is a lot of things which we can be really, really excited about. Big chances were 6, lost the position 9 times, and the shot blocked, it was once, and the successful dribbles were 2. So you can't really be complaining about how we played, but you can complain about the captain. The captain was not in the game. He was not in the game. 90 minutes, clearance 3, interception 3. He committed a penalty 1, 86 chances. He had, of course, a 90 something accuracy because he's always having the ball, but lost position 10 times as a defender. 10 times. That is a problem. That is even scary to think about it. Long accuracy, he had 3 out of 9 shots he was giving, most of the time because he was giving to Salah, who was also not in the game. He was failing to control the ball. So that did not work to his advantage. Ibu Konate, on the other hand, did not really do so much bad, but he was really not in the game as well. Clearance 6 and stuff, as you can see. He covered that position, helping up on the right as well, which was really, really important. He got himself into a problem with something that he was not supposed to get himself into, but he worked so well. So there is a lot of things that he needs to work on in terms of it. His aero jewels, of course, he won them all. And of course, you can see that his ground jewels were not really good in terms of what he was doing. He lost the position times. I think we need to talk more about how Liverpool players keep losing positions so many times. I have no idea why is that even happening. Something that the manager really needs to work on, because we need to improve in those positions. This is the season which is really giving us so many questions rather than answers, especially the way we were like last season and the way we are showing now this season makes us question a lot of things. So that needs to be worked on really when it comes to Konate, but I believe he will work. He has to work on himself. He needs to improve. Then Jeremy Fimpong, the last one, he scored an amazing wonder goal at Cove, where I felt like Diogo Jota was also part of it. I can dream, people. I can dream. That just felt like it was a Diogo Jota header that he always hits whenever you're not expecting it, especially on the timing. It's really amazing. So Fimpong was covering that position. He was there defensively, but mostly it felt like he was attacking, running in that position, trying to help out in terms of creating something. He played 90 minutes, one goal. Yes, he had one goal, shot blocked once, interception once, tackles, total tackles, which were three, dribbled past once, ground jewels, nine, and he won three out of those ground jewels. Area jewels, he won two out of four, lost position 14 times. But most of it was happening up top, so it doesn't really bother us that much. Then, of course, fouls, he fouled the people three times. Then touches, 53 times. Then accurate passes, it was 28 out of 39, so it was a 70 something percent, something that he needs to improve. But all in all, not really a good game, really, to be honest. Not really a good game. At some point, Allison kept us in the game, and hence why he's given an important rating here in terms of penalties. He saved so many things, and he had to be given an important rating. So, what can I say about today's game? We are a work in progress. We have changed so much from last season. Darwin Nunes is gone, Gakpo, Luis Diaz is gone. There is so much changes in this team, and the players that are coming need to be given an opportunity to get used to their teammates. They need to start understanding how the Liverpool way is done, how to get into the game, how to even perform. So you cannot really put that pressure on a player who's just coming for the first time. It's really not fair on an honest situation. It's unfair. But all in all, people, I think Crystal Palace, congratulations. I know them. They deserved this game. They had a plan, played it so well, and they got the victory, which was really, really pivotal. Now let's see what happens. So many people are saying that we dodged the curse. Maybe we did. I don't know. But one thing I can tell you, I think we can be excited about how the combination of our strike force is going to be like. And like I say, I don't really agree with the Sofa's rating of Florian Wirtz. I feel like he ran the game. I felt like everything happened through him, and I'm wondering how does that help us in terms of defending as well. But going forward, we are really really a good team. We are looking like a work in progress, which is going to be exciting. So I can't wait to see what happens next. But do me a favor, click the like button, subscribe to Connect. Let me know where you're watching us from and what do you think of today's performance. I'm out. Peace. Subscribe to the Connect.